Alright, in this video I'll share with you conversations that I had with around 8 Indians in Canada. Indians. These people have been in Canada for ages and they have accomplished what most Indians only dream of over there. I spoke to them. Some shared voice messages, some chat. And they give me some insight which I thought would be useful for you. So just comment down below what you found useful or what you agree, disagree. Okay. And these mainly cover topics of the transgender issue, cost of living, safety, security, migrating there, getting jobs. Okay. So let's begin. The first thing which obviously was high on the list was this transgender issue, calling people with their pronouns. And this is what they told me. They said, given the fact that they are first generation Indians, they're very careful, they're very aware of the fact that we have come to this country, even though we are citizens now, we have to respect the rules. Whatever rules you put, we will follow them. You want me to call someone with their pronoun, I'll call him with his pronoun. If a guy says, call me a girl, okay, if you say, call me they, them, fine. You're saying, I don't interfere in anyone's business. Nobody interferes in mine. But, he's saying, where it comes to work, he's saying, if we find any candidate who puts on his bio, my preferred pronoun is he, him, or she, her, or they, them, or zimzer, or whatever you want to put, he says, by default, that resume goes in the dustbin. Okay? He's saying, we don't even bother to see. And then I asked him, so is this only Indians who are doing that? He's saying, I have got instructions from my boss, who himself is a proper Canadian. Okay, generations have stayed in Canada. Publicly, they're very polite. They will support this mandate, transgender, this, that, everything. He's saying he just doesn't want to invite the headache to the office. And I spoke to a couple of businessmen. He said, as it is, we have enough headache. Loy, we need more. Oh, you didn't call me by my pronoun. Oh, I feel, you're transphobic. And he's saying, I don't have time for all this shit. Someone who has time for all this, please, don't bother. Saying, why bring a snake to the house as a pet when you know the snake can be venomous and dangerous? Then I asked him, what about those people who have, nose rings like a cow? Here in Asian countries, you'll have buffaloes and cows with nose rings. And so what about those people who have nose rings? And hey, I even said tattoos. Tattoos and green hair, pink hair. He's saying, we have certain mandates, certain guidelines on whom to appoint. What are the factors? We will reject them. So I said, do you make this public? He said, no, not at all. We never share. What are the reasons? Well, people might say, we don't differentiate between gender and sex and this and that. He's saying, we just don't want headache. If you have a nose ring and pink hair and green hair and everyone else is, dressed up formal for work, you don't need another, someone wearing shorts and pinks and skirt, a guy wearing a skirt or minis. So he said, they can go and work in McDonald's or Starbucks, or those jobs are available for them. Then I asked him, what about the protests and all that? He's like, who has time for all this crap? Only them. And we are very happy that they're doing this protest. He's saying, because they are wasting their money. They're wasting their time. Then I asked also a couple of them about the government. And this is where things got interesting. He said, Loy, you think for a second they care a damn about transgender, they care about immigrants, they care... No, it's a powerful lobbies that fund these parties. If you want to get into the good books, you want funding, you keep them happy. So where the money is, that direction you'll go. And oh, by the way, forget Indian Canadians. Nobody likes Trudeau. And they said, politicians are politicians. Where they'll get more votes, they'll go there. Where they'll get the lobby support, they'll go there. Why do you think weed and all this nonsense they're talking about? They don't care about people. They care about being in the position of power. As long as they can be in power, they'll say whatever you want them to say. It's like they're the mouth spokesperson. What is your best bid? I'm all yours. It's like that's an unofficial way of being pimped. A pimp, pimping yourself for legal reasons. He says they'll just do whatever it takes to be in power, just like India or anywhere else. Only difference is here they do it very polished. And today they'll say A, tomorrow they'll say B. Fine. Then I also asked them about, what about people who do weed and drugs? And he's saying, one of them said, I was staying in a particular area and this started getting infested with people who do weed and drugs, and homelessness started to increase and people started crowding, living on the streets. We just shifted our base to nice quiet little place, village, very far, where you can't just be homeless. You need a car to drive for miles and miles. So someone only with a proper infrastructure will stay there. So we are there. You can't beg on the streets because miles and miles there's nothing. So only someone who has something stable will stay there. Saying we are a small community, no beggars, no drug addicts, no weed nonsense. And I said, do you feel sad for them? No. I am very happy that they do weed and they smoke and drink and drugs. Let them die. They are digging their own grave. We have no issues. And let them be the burden to the government. Yes, taxpayer money is going. What do you want me to do? But I don't look at it as I'm paying tax for them. I'm paying tax for me staying here. That's it. I look at it as expense tax, an expense. You can spend for whatever you want, I don't care. He's saying my only job is to generate income, save money, take care of my family. Then I asked, most of them, they are married with children. I said, what about your children and transgender issues? He's saying they are teaching our children about these issues, but not to worry because we spend a lot of time with our children. There's enough and more time. We spend time with them, we educate them, we talk to them about our values, what works for them, and we have made it very clear. If you want to be part of this community, LGBTQ, see what jobs that they're working for, see what they do. If you want to join them, yes, but you have to leave our house because our house, our rules. You can get someone social service who will take care of you, but they will not give you the life we are giving you. We are giving you the latest iPhone. We are giving you the latest car. We are giving you your own house or apartment. If social security services can provide you all this, fine, go. Please go. College also, we're not going to pay for you. We are sending you to a premium college. And if your grades are down, you can stop college and start working in Burger King or Starbucks. Indian children will study. He's saying they don't need to listen to transgender. In fact, one of them even told me, I showed my son and daughter Lizzo, I showed him Sam Smith, I showed that Elliot Page. I said, you want to be like Lizzo, healthy? No, Papa, I don't want to be like Lizzo. You want to be Sam Smith, who they showed some of his raunchy videos, and you want to do this in public? No, I find it so stupid. Okay, do you want to be Elliot Page? Get your breast chopped up or your private parts? No, Dad, are we crazy? These people are mad. Good. And then he made the joke by saying, even if you cut your breasts every 28 days, you will be reminded what a man you are. Your periods. Even when he said that to me, I couldn't get it. I was like, what 28 days? Oh, okay. Then when he told me, you can cut your breasts and show that I'm a man and take testosterone. But when you get your periods, finished. And then I asked also, what about the special privileges and favoritism that these LGBTQ get? He's saying, good, let them get. they will forever be entitled. He's saying, I don't want my children to be entitled, I want them to fight for it. When they fight for it, they know the value and they'll be competitive. He's saying, in India, we lived survival of the fittest. That's what I want my children to be, survival of the fittest. Fight. If you can't swim, you'll sink. And then finally I asked him about cost of living. He said, see Loy, every single place it's expensive. US is not a bed of roses, and we can easily go to Middle East, or we can go to countries where they offer you much tax-free, better income. He's saying, but running away from a situation is not the answer, because everything has a price to pay. And see the wisdom that they have. If I run away from here and go to a place where they're giving me tax-free money and I'm making big money, and then when I come back, because I've left the situation here, I have to start from zero. People say, where is the experience? What about the gap? And asked him with regards to weed and legalization, or you can sit at home and take exemption. He's saying, I'm very happy that they're doing that. He's saying we have less competition. So he said, we are not bothered. He's saying, see, at the end of the day, this is what he told me. You can put him, her, zim, zer, they, them, she, her, or, he, him is your pronouns. Saying, but check LinkedIn. This is one other guy. He's at a director level. He said, check the LinkedIn. You'll find out when did they join the organization. He's saying people generally who have these changed their pronouns, they've been in the organization for very many years. But if you were to resign and then try to apply for a job with all this pronoun nonsense, nobody will take you other than minimum job. Nobody wants a headache. Nobody wants to build a separate toilet and, oh, your feelings are hurt. Oh, it's transphobic. Oh, we need to have this meeting and discuss your sensitive issues. He's saying even any of these individuals, they come to our organization, suppose they infiltrate, they're causing trouble, we just keep quiet. We let them make the mistakes once, twice, thrice, 4 times. Enough and more evidence is collected, and then they're terminated. That's about it. So this is what they said. So good to know that our Indian values are still applicable, the good parts of it, and they have not forgotten. So this weed and transgender agenda and self-entitlement, expenses, all that, someone with proper values and proper upbringing, where the parent is sitting down with the children guiding them, they don't have to worry. But the rest of the losers, they will have a good time. Like I said, no politician is your friend. Huh? I think this is where it comes down to reality. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. One final thing. Indians coming to Canada. No surprises here. He says the quality of people who are coming is so crappy, so terrible. He's saying, forget a Gora guy wanting to reject them. We ourselves reject them. He's saying, I myself am ashamed when I see someone coming from India. He says he's a master's in English and he has a PhD in something. But then when I ask him a question, he can't weave together a decent sentence in English. I know for a fact this is another one of those, fake guys or unintelligent individuals. He's saying, I make sure that I take all nationalities. I'm not particularly, I'm Indian, he's Indian, let me employ Indian. No. You're competitive enough for the job, I'll take you. You start putting nonsense, sorry, no. But he did say that tons and tons of Indians are coming and they are ruining the place. He's saying, I'd have felt so proud and happy if classy guys came. He's saying they're looking forward to be a driver or cleaner and the same Indian nonsense. Oh, back home in India, back in my this thing. He's saying the minute they say that sentence, I don't want to employ them. And he's saying the resumes. He sends me a couple of them, two of them. They keep sending me a resume. He's saying it's simply atrocious. They don't know the market. They don't know what works here. They come and talk nonsense. So anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And yes, feel free to ask any questions. If any worthwhile questions, maybe I'll make a new video. Guys, take care. This is me signing off.